can we get full-time Bully Aspinall after this smear campaign? How are you going to be on the comeback?
Mate, when I come back, there is no more Mr. Nice Guy. Nice Tom. When it comes to MMA, he's gone. And I'm going full bad guy, I think.
What are you left feeling after the fight?
Well, look, if you were sidelined from doing your job for like 15 months, not allowed to do anything, you train your ass off for 6 months for a fight, then to get double eye poked, to be left with no vision for nearly 6 weeks because of an illegal move. How do you think I feel? I'm not feeling fantastic, am I?
Tom Aspinall has finally spoken out, and the MMA community has been shaken to its core. The fighter, known for humility, respect, and pure heavyweight skill, has reached a breaking point that nobody saw coming. And the moment he started talking, fans instantly realized this wasn't the calm, soft-spoken British contender they were used to. This was a man who felt disrespected, minimized, and outright betrayed by the one person who should have had his back the most, Dana White. According to Aspinall, the UFC president didn't just question his toughness after the devastating eye poke that ended the Cyril Gane fight. He brushed it off. He downplayed it. He even seemed to smirk at it, like it was nothing more than a small inconvenience rather than a serious, career-threatening injury. And Aspinall is done pretending that it didn't sting. This was supposed to be his breakthrough moment, the rise of a heavyweight talent many compared to a young, prime Cain Velasquez. But instead of celebrating his ascent, the narrative has been hijacked. Now all anyone talks about is whether Tom quit, whether he folded, whether an eye poke that left him partially blind for nearly 2 days should have been enough to stop a heavyweight championship. About that, Aspinall's response is simple and unapologetic. He didn't quit anything. He protected his eyesight. He protected his future. He protected the career he's worked his entire life to build. Because in the heavyweight division, losing vision, even for a moment, is the thin line between a title run and permanent damage that lasts a lifetime.
You know, something needs doing about it.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, it's horrendous for me to look at that.
Say that.
How is he not disqualified off that?
It's outrageous. And then people just start booing me like, my fault. He double faulted me, mate. Just trained for 14 months. Trust me, didn't want someone's finger knuckle deep in my eye. It's the last thing I wanted.
CT and MRI confirmed orbital soft tissue trauma. Confirmed! This is confirmation, okay? Orthoptic evaluations demonstrated impaired binocular coordination and restricted ocular motility. This is what the scans are revealing, guys. That doesn't sound good. I feel weird celebrating this because it's like we were correct and we're not lying and we're not making shit up. But also it's like, oh God, we were correct. This is terrible. This is really bad. You know, so it's a weird in-between that I'm at. Bilateral traumatic Brown's syndrome. Tom Aspinall was poked and Cyril Gane put his fingers in Tom Aspinall's eyes and Tom Aspinall got Brown's syndrome from it. I don't know if this is a symptom of Brown's syndrome.
Yet somehow, the person expected to stand up for him, the man who shapes the entire UFC narrative, didn't. Instead, Dana White seemed to shrug it off, almost suggesting that Tom should have just pushed through the injury. And that's where this story gets complicated. For the first time in his career, Tom has admitted he's angry. Angry at the criticism. Angry at the lack of respect. Angry that fighter safety can be so easily ignored when money is on the line. And angry that one of the most common and dangerous fouls in MMA, the eye poke, continues to be overlooked until a fighter's career is at serious risk. Tom pointed out something striking. If it had been a cut, a broken bone, or any other injury, nobody would question it. But because it was an eye poke, suddenly everyone online is an expert. Suddenly, everyone claims vision isn't important. The alarming part? This isn't new. Eye pokes have caused career setbacks for years. Fighters like Stipe Miocic, Daniel Cormier, Belal Muhammad, and Leon Edwards have all suffered under the same reckless system. Fights have ended in no contests. Fighters have needed surgery. temporary blindness, blurred vision, split corneas, torn retinas. All while the UFC has refused to redesign its gloves, even after numerous calls from medical experts and former champions. Now here's where things go from dramatic to explosive. Out of sheer frustration and disbelief at how the situation was handled, Tom Aspinall has revealed something the UFC definitely didn't want public. He's seriously considering a switch to boxing. And he's not talking about some distant fantasy. He's talking about the moment his UFC contract ends. Unless the promotion changes the way it treats him, he's done. Fans were stunned. Tom has been a model of loyalty, a UFC gentleman for years. Yet even he has reached a point where boxing looks more respectful, more financially rewarding, and far safer for his long-term career than risking his vision in a company that failed to defend him when it mattered most. This isn't just speculation anymore. This could be a seismic shift in the heavyweight division. The Francis Ngannou effect is real. Fighters watch Ngannou leave the UFC, earn tens of millions, and prove that superstardom isn't limited to the promotion. And Tom Aspinall has been paying attention.
Yeah, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And Tom Aspinall right now is getting a lot of online. There's a lot of people supporting him, but there's also a lot of people jumping on the bandwagon and talking a ton of crap. And obviously John Jones, an incredibly popular fighter that's been around forever. He's one of the GOATs. You know, he's got a lot of fans, and a lot of people are going to get on the side of John Jones. Simple as that, because they're his fans, and Tom's English, and he hasn't been around too long, and all that kind of shit, right? But the reality is, he said that Tom Aspinall is incredibly overrated, and he's quite simple. All he has is a good 1-2.
He has a beautiful 1-2. I got to learn a lot about his patterns in his last fight. That's really about it. That's the one thing that he's setting up real nice.
That's it. That's all he's got. He's got a good 1-2. It's dangerous. He can knock people out. He got Curtis Blade with it. He did a bunch of other people. But if you've watched Tom Aspinall, you know that's not true.
You first got eye poked.
Well, I actually got eye poked twice in the fight. First one wasn't too bad. He got warned for it. The second one, obviously, Cyril Gane tried to make my head a bowling ball with the double eye poke, knuckle deep in both. So yeah, wouldn't recommend it at all.
How did you feel the fight was going before the eye poke?
I felt like the fight was going okay. It was going pretty much to plan. I think that, look, there was this big notion in the media before that I'm just going to run through Cyril Gane. Look, I might look like an idiot. Sometimes I might even talk like an idiot, but when it comes to fighting, I know what I'm talking about, and I know that Cyril Gane is a tough matchup for him.
Considering how Dana responded to his injury, how fans turned on him, and how fighter safety continues to take a backseat, it's no surprise that Tom Aspinall publicly announced he's exploring other opportunities once his remaining UFC fights are complete. He knows his worth. He understands that boxing purses can be life-changing, often out-earning UFC heavyweights in a single night what they might make over their entire careers. Meanwhile, Dana White is doing what he always does, downplaying the situation, brushing it off, and acting like there's no problem. But the problem is real, and it's massive. This incident didn't just strain the relationship between a UFC superstar and the promotion. It revealed a deeper, systemic issue that fighters have been raising for years. Fighter safety is often ignored until it becomes convenient to be why speaking out. Tom shattered the unspoken expectation that UFC heavyweights must simply tough it out no matter the circumstances. The moment he challenged that narrative, the MMA world saw just how fragile the bond between fighter and promoter can be. When Dana White questioned the seriousness of the eye poke, suggested Tom could have fought on, and treated a potentially career-ending injury like a minor inconvenience, Tom felt the cold truth. In the UFC, you're valued only until you jeopardize a main event. After that, loyalty evaporates, respect disappears, safety discussions stop, and blame falls squarely on the fighter. Tom has said it himself. The backlash wasn't just unfair, it was dangerous. Fans calling him soft, claiming he quit, suggesting that a heavyweight contender should fight nearly blind against someone like Cyril Gane. It's absurd. Tom has sparred with world-class boxers and trained alongside elite kickboxers. He knows the realities of combat sports far better than anyone typing from their couch. when he revealed that doctors warned him he could permanently lose part of his vision if he continued. He wasn't making excuses. He was protecting his career, his health, and his ability to witness his children grow up. And that's exactly why Tom is so angry at Dana White's response. Instead of defending him, explaining the gravity of the situation, or shutting down the trolls, Dana's reaction was cold, detached, and almost mocking.
Really good defensively. I knew that if we want to break the fight down a little bit, Cyril's got really good defense. He moves really, really well on his feet. I knew that I have to stand in range and take a few punches from Cyril to be able to land my own shots. We knew that. That was happening. I had a bloody nose. Look, any of my sparring partners know you only have to look at that thing.
I think it's a bit red now as well, isn't it?
It might be a bit red today, yeah. Got the old Rudolph thing going on.
It's not broken though, just to be clear.
No, my nose isn't broken, but I have broke my nose about 3 or 4 times in my life. So, look, touch me in the nose, it'll bleed. Yeah, nosebleeds happen in fights. Yeah, was he hitting me with a few jabs? Yes. Was I hitting him with a few shots as well? Yes. I thought it was going to be a 5-round fight. Go and look at my pre-fight stuff. I knew this was going to be a long and tough fight.
That every fight I go into, and I really respect my opponent, especially Cyril. I think there's this notion with the media and maybe the fans that Cyril's not very good, which is just complete bullshit. I think that he's really, really good. He's super talented. He's been at the top of division for a number of years, which is not easy to do. He's been an interim champion himself. He's obviously had 2 title shots for the undisputed title as well. So I think the guy's really good. I've took him extremely, extremely seriously. The fact that people expect it to be an easy fight, I don't read into that at all. I think I'm prepared for a really, really hard fight.
That was a lot of the take. Even if he is blind, he should fight on. Just go out there and fucking just geriatrically fucking look around the cage like Mr. Magoo, wondering where Cyril Gane is, while Gane just tees off on him with head kicks and wheel kicks and whatever he wants. And then if he would have lost by KO, no belt, Cyril Gane's champ, and I bet you anything people have moved on real quick by now. Gane versus Pereira sounds great. I'm already seeing those discussions now that we think Tom might be out for a little bit longer. That's 100% what the MMA community would have done. Not the real ones, but that's what people do. They just move on past that shit. Goes back out there blind, gets destroyed, gets finished, and then bang. We just move on. So annoying.
Does Tom want to go into the boxing world and maybe fight a Tyson Fury, maybe fight a Deontay Wilder?
I don't know if he does, but I think if you get into that top percentage of the sport, the UFC do not pay anywhere near as much as the boxing does. And I know, being around Tom every day, that when he spars good boxers, he spars good. So I think he'd do really well against a real high-class boxer.
With Zuffa Boxing under Dana White's leadership, do you think there could be an eventual crossover where you get a massive super fight that could be on a Netflix?
It doesn't depend on me, that depends on Dana White. But I think Tom has the ability, because I've seen him box at the highest level against some real good guys, that he could be at that level.
Said that you wanted a boxing champion.
Yeah, for sure.
You're okay with an MMA champion, but you wanted a boxing champion.
Boxing for sure. The money is
more money.
Yeah. More money. Why not?
Would that be an outcome for him? No.
He's 3 more fights on the contract now.
Okay. So
and I don't want to sign a new contract. We only ever think one fight. Cyril, win, lose, next fight.
I'm excited to say Andy told me Tom will be a boxing champion by 2028.
So for Tom, unfortunately, and even his dad said this, he's like, Tom has 3 fights left on his contract, and then we're going to get a boxing super fight. We're out of here. Because think about it. Let's say he beats Cyril Gane, right? So we're never seeing that again. Who else would you pay to see him fight? Now it's going to be free on...
Only John Jones. Only.
Yeah. So he has 3 fights left. So you're going to get Cyril Gane. He'll get the winner of Alex John, which happened at the White House. And then maybe fight if he loses that, which he will if it's John. If he were to lose that, he fights the loser of John versus Alex. Those are your 3 fights from Tom. And then you go to box, because let's say he's re-signed for 6 fights. Who are you going to watch him fight? Volkov, already beat him.
Are you
Pavlich, already beat him.
Yeah.
Curtis Blades, beat him.
Yeah.
Almeida, he doesn't deserve to be in the top 5. Acosta, those top fucking, besides Curtis Blades, 2 through 15 aren't even in the top 25 of this 2015. So for Tom, he was born at the wrong fucking time.
And something else for me personally, like one of the reasons that I'm very successful with my style, and again, I don't want to give too much away, but because I'm very, very athletic for the size.
You are.
My balance is great. My agility is great. That is
as well as other things, but that is a big advantage that I've got in the heavyweight division.
Some reporters think that because I think that he should box because it's more money, that affected him in the fight. I've never heard as much as people saying what I say affects Tom in a fight. I say loads of things to loads of people. People who are around me all the time know that. Boxers are around me all the time. It's just because of the money. And it's the back to, if your son was a fighter, would you sooner him fight for a ton of money or not a ton of money? It's a no-brainer, but people